Hi guys, how are you guys doing? I hope everyone is doing fantastic. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been hiding out because the whole trip that I took, we were gone for actually 10 days. It was so unexpected. We were not supposed to stay in Vegas for 4 days. We were only supposed to stay there for 3. And then my friends were supposed to go to Mammoth and celebrate their anniversary together, and they invited us to go. So we ended up staying there for 3 more days. So we were gone for a total of 10 days, which was amazing, but so unexpected at the same time. But I've been hiding out because, to be honest with you, after getting back from Vegas, I felt like total crap. I have never been away from home that long, ever in my life. And I'm not gonna say that I overindulged in food because honestly, food was kind of like not on our minds most of the time. Most of the time we were just focusing on what we were doing in Vegas and in Mammoth. So I wouldn't say that I overindulged, but I definitely didn't eat like how I would normally eat. So I was so bloated. I had so much water retention. I'm still recovering actually. It's been like 2 weeks almost since we've been home. I just have been trying to stay off camera because I haven't been feeling myself. And not to mention, I've been preparing for my next video. Because I do have some more fun videos coming up, more organizational videos. You guys are gonna love the next video, so stay tuned. Vegas was so fun. It was so upbeat. There was so much to do, and it seemed like we wanted to do it all, but it's just impossible. Vegas is huge. It's impossible to see Vegas in one trip. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with the first night on Fremont Street. You guys need to excuse the mess. I have not been able to clean my house since I got back. Thankfully, Bubba, he helped out a lot while we were gone. I mean, just the fact that he even watched our kids for an extra 6 days was like, wow. But he also cleaned the house for me too, so he was like vacuuming and all that. But you know how fast things get messy, you know? But anyway, so if you didn't know, Fremont Street is probably the way to go if you're trying to go to Vegas on a budget. And we got a room at the Golden Nugget. We shared a room with 2 beds. I don't remember how much it costed for the hotel stay, but it was a pretty nice hotel. They've done a lot of renovations to the hotels, so they're actually quite nice. The Golden Nugget was actually really, really beautiful, and so we enjoyed our stay there. In fact, you can never go wrong with just staying in your hotel and just living it up, partying in your room. Smile, you're on Candid Gaming.
Oh wait, that was a video. Share a joke.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Hi, Jelly.
How could I miss that one? I didn't get a whole lot of footage of the hotel, like, you know, the restaurants inside. We did go to Claim Jumpers in the hotel. There is definitely some lounges in there for you to hang out at, and some bars, and not to mention casinos. We did do some gambling. I didn't get a whole lot of footage of our gambling either. We got there on a Sunday, so we got there when the crowd was starting to kind of go out. So Monday and Tuesday was kind of slower, but Sunday night when we went out on Fremont Street, there was a few performers. There was also some bands playing. We had a great time. One of the main things to do on Fremont Street is just to walk around with your drinks and listen to the bands play, which was really fun. I got down on some dancing. There was a couple of good ones that was playing some really good music, so it was awesome. But we did try to stay away from like the long drinks, the sugary ones, because we did not want to have any hangovers. We didn't want to get too drunk or anything, so we just stuck with our regular Captain and Diet Coke, and they actually had some good drinks there for relatively cheap. I mean, anything that you buy in Vegas is going to be a little bit more pricey than if you were to, you know, make your drinks from home. So We did buy a couple of bottles and we brought them with us, and we were able to bring our own champagne. So what we would do is we go into the casino. They have cups at the doors, like when you're exiting, because you're not allowed to take glass or bottles or anything like that outside. So they have plastic cups to pour your drinks in. So we would get those cups. We would go to the hotel. We would get ice from the ice maker, and then we would make our drinks and then go down on the strip. So that's a really good way to save money on drinks. We did buy a couple of drinks here, especially if we went out. But for the most part, we made our own drinks. It's a really good way to save money, and it's a good way to kind of drink leisurely without getting drunk. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to have fun but not go crazy. The only thing that kind of sucked was that there was this group of guys that were ready to perform. They were all standing there looking sharp, and we're like getting excited, like, yeah. And my friend Crystal was like hyping them up. She was like dancing for them to get them all hyped up. And so my husband handed me a $2 chip, and he's like, put this in their bucket. Mind you, they had a big bucket full of cash. Like, it was like half filled, full of dollar bills and other bills and whatever. And so he looked down at it, and he looked up at me, and he shook his head no. And at first I was gonna reach into my bag and I was gonna give him a $5 bill that was in my wallet, but my husband said no. Like, if he's gonna be greedy and he's gonna say no to you, that's a no for me too. One of the things that I really wanted to do was go to the pool, because when my husband and I got married, we actually got married in Vegas, and we stayed at the Platinum Hotel. The Platinum Hotel is like off the strip, but it's very close to the strip. We chose to get married there because it had a kitchen and the prices were really affordable. The thing that was important to me was to kind of recreate that moment where me and my best friend Wendy would go down to the pool every single day. And it was amazing. The pool at the Platinum had like a wraparound thing, and it was really big, and it had its own bar. It was really, really nice. And so since I enjoyed it so much there at the Platinum Hotel, I was telling Crystal, when we get to Vegas, my thing that I want to do is sit by the pool during the day and go down to Fremont Street or play at nighttime. We actually happen to have a really nice view of the pool from our hotel. This pool was like no other. I was not expecting the pool to be that cool. They had a huge fish tank in the middle of the pool, and it actually wrapped around too. And there's like a sunny side with a waterfall, and then there's the other side where it's like underneath, where it's shaded, and you can look at all the fish, and the fish were like huge. They're like bigger than me. There's actually sharks in there, and at the very, very bottom, I couldn't get good footage of it. I did take footage of it, but you can't see. All you can see is the glare of me in the window. But on the bottom, there was a big ass freaking sucker fish down at the bottom, like a bottom feeder that was like keeping the whole tank clean. I was actually really surprised that the shark wasn't eating all of the other fish around him, but surprisingly, they all like got along. But it was amazing. It was so beautiful. It was such a sight to see, and I'm so glad that I got to go. We only got to go the one day though, because I'm not gonna lie, being in that pool relaxed me so much that it was even hard for me to go out at the end of the day. There was like this really cool water slide inside the fish tank. So you crawl or you walk up the stairs and you wait in line to go down, and it's free. You don't have to pay extra for it. It's included in your hotel stay. You walk up these stairs and then you get to go down the slide from the top, and it takes you through the fishing tank. You're not able to see the fish because you're going down that slide so quickly that it's impossible for you to even pay attention to the fish.
Fishies.
No, it goes too fast.
The water was like bath water. The water was actually salted too. It's not chlorinated water, it's salt water. So it's very clean and crystal clear, and I don't know. That pool was so cool. I would just go back to the hotel just to hang out at that pool. It was so worth it. So we just enjoyed our stay there at the pool for a few hours. We actually got a cocktail or two. And it's funny because like at the very end, we decided to go up and shower and get dressed and get ready to go out. And the boys stayed behind and they had a couple more drinks. And they actually have like an upper deck, so you don't have to stay down at the pool. You can go on the top deck, and they can, I think that they serve drinks to you. But they do have a bar in there too as well. You can get buckets of beer. They stayed there while we got ready, and we could actually see them from the pool. Definitely, if you get a chance to stay at the Golden Nugget, you guys need to check out that pool, because that pool is like a whole experience in itself. Oh, speaking of things to do in the Golden Nugget, right when you're like checking into your hotel room, there's this little store called the Chocolate Box, and I couldn't help it. I just wanted to go in there and buy one chocolate. They're actually kind of on the pricey side, but if you buy up to 6, I think that you get a little bit of a discount. I only bought 4, so I think I bought them at regular price. I think it cost me $17 for 4 truffles, but they have an assortment of different types of chocolates and like cupcakes and stuff like that. They even sell ice cream there. When you look inside the box or like the case, all of the chocolates look so pretty, and it's so hard to just choose one, which is why I walked out with 4 of them. But I ended up choosing the champagne one. I also got a peanut butter one, the coconut one, which was my favorite, and then a milk or a white chocolate with a milk chocolate truffle in the center. You guys, these chocolates were not bad. We actually bought them when we first walked in and were checking in, but we didn't even try them until the next day. And we popped some champagne bottles and we enjoyed them and all like shared them all together. The coconut one was devoured. I only got one bite out of it, which like I said was my favorite, but everyone ate that one because that was everyone's favorite. But I guess the runner-up would probably be the peanut butter one, which I'm not a big fan of peanut butter, but definitely try out the Chocolate Box. They have a whole lot of different options for you to try out, and I definitely wanted to put that in here because it was a cute little shop. We did get to get off Fremont Street for a little bit. We decided to head out to the Strip. We were able to drive by Hell's Kitchen, and we saw all kinds of billboards with all the people who are going to be performing soon. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see any shows. That would be nice for one of our next Vegas trips, is to go watch some shows. I know that Miranda Lambert is playing. We also walked through the Cosmopolitan Hotel, which was so pretty. I think that was the first time I've ever like walked through that hotel. They had a really, really beautiful chandelier that was immaculate. It was huge. It starts from the bottom and it goes all the way to the top. So when you first walk into the hotel, you see the bottom part of the chandelier, and when you go up the escalators, you see a bunch of pictures of different old school actors and celebrities, like including Marilyn Monroe. And then you get to the top, it's kind of like a loft, and you look from the top to the bottom, and you see the top of the chandelier, and you can see it go all the way down to the bottom of the stairs. We also passed by the Bellagio, and we got to watch the water show in front of the hotel. It starts like every 30 minutes in certain hours of the day, and then every 15 minutes at nighttime, and they actually have like lights that light up the water. It lasts for only like 5 to 7 minutes. It's very short, but it's such a beautiful sight to see. It's very iconic. It's something that you really don't want to miss.
You look so pretty.
The last thing that we got to do on this trip was we decided to eat at the Forrest Gump restaurant, or what's it called, Bubba Gump's. That was like the 4th different Bubba Gump restaurant I've ever been to. We're closest to the one in Santa Monica, so we normally go to that one. And it's nice, but the one in Vegas is really cool. I kind of wanted to stay in character of the movies, so I ordered the Hurricane Jenny, and then I got the Jenny's Surf and Surf. You guys, I couldn't have picked a better meal. It was so delicious. I also ordered a cup of their clam chowder, and it was fire. If you guys watch Eric the Electric, you know what I did here. This was such a fun experience. I know it's just a regular restaurant that you can go anywhere, but this one in Vegas was exceptionally fun. I really loved the little quotes that were on the table. Make sure to pause to read them because they're really fun. And the guys got to keep their glasses afterwards, so we actually collect the glasses from each place that we visit. And so this is our first Las Vegas Bubba Gump glass. After that, we stopped and got some energy drinks from like the local CVS store, and we were trying to like build up some energy to walk around, but we were just getting so tired. So the only thing that we were able to do was walk through Little Italy, and I got to see a little bit of it. I mean, that casino is pretty large, but we did the best that we could. We probably only looked through half of it. But I wanted to make sure that I got to see Little Italy because that's actually one of my favorite hotels. I just really love how it's indoor and it looks like you're outside, and you get to see like the old school shops where they have like artisan breads and pizza and stuff like that. But like I said, we were getting just so tired. We just went through just a little part of it, and then we ended up getting an Uber and we went back home. And we ended up taking a nap for an hour before we went back out. So after we woke up from our nap, we decided to go back down on Fremont Street and see some more things. So we found this little place called Nerd, or The Nerd. It is such a cool little place. It looks kind of old school. Like everything that they have looks like it was probably repurposed, or they bought it from a thrift store, or they found it at an outlet store. It's just a funky little place where things are just like scattered everywhere around their little place. They had like this little area where you walk in and you can rent this little space to celebrate like before you get married for bachelorette parties or something. They have cages for fights. I don't even know if they actually fight in these cages or not, but they have like a fighting cage. They have all kinds of stuff like arcade games for you to play, but they have like a bull riding thing that you can go on if you want to. They also have like, it looks like a boxing ring in there. It's also a bowling alley, and you could actually rent out the bowling part of it. And I think it's $100 for an hour for 4 people, which isn't so bad considering if you go to a real bowling alley, you're gonna pay more than that. Now I will say that the drinks are a little flat. Like they're not that great. They don't use real Coke or Diet Coke. But at that point I was kind of like not really interested in drinking anyway. So I didn't really have any drinks while I was there. We just bowled for the 1 hour. I don't know, it's just a weird little place. It's just really fun and we had a blast. So the one thing that I couldn't get that I really wanted regularly was some good coffee. I love a good old-fashioned cup of coffee. All I put in my coffee is just creamer. We were able to order coffee from the hotel, but I was not about to spend $17 or $12 for a pot of coffee when we can get good stuff at like Starbucks or even Dunkin' Donuts. But while my husband and Ramon were out, they found this place called Pink Box. Apparently there's not a whole lot of pink boxes around, but one of them is in Vegas and it looked really interesting. So he went in there and he bought some donuts from there. I wouldn't say that they're the best quality donuts. They're kind of dry. They're not the best, but they definitely are fun. I had to go back for myself to get footage. So we went back the day before we actually left, and I got some footage of the case, and I did buy a couple of donuts just for fun. I got the peace donut and the poop donut, but we did try a few of them. My husband did buy a box of 4, and they were just okay. My favorite one though, which was really bomb, was this like cream filled donut with like a white chocolate glaze and a drizzle on top. What do you guys think about the donuts? Stale?
The one that I had wasn't the greatest.
No?
But I just had the OG glaze. Which is pretty much
yeah. I can say that the glazed one is a tad dry. So is the buttermilk. That one was good, but other than that, the rest of them were kind of dry, and I wouldn't really recommend it. But to be honest with you, the Dunkin' Donuts there in Vegas, those ones had the best donuts.
Oh shit. Okay, no face hits. Oh shit.
So it it was actually at this point when we decided that we were having so much fun, we did not want to leave. We wanted to stay for one more day. And we didn't know yet that we were actually going to hang out in Mammoth for the next 3 days. So we thought, just give us one more day. We're going to hang out in Vegas one more day. And so we asked the babysitter if he would, be willing to do that. And he said, yeah. We went down to the Cat's Meow. Now, the first night that we got there, we did get to go to the Cat's Meow, but we didn't stay for very long because it was already getting kind of late and we were getting tired. So we decided to go back to our hotel room. We really liked the atmosphere so much that we decided to go back and actually enjoy our time there, which was cool because it gave us more time to actually sing some more songs and practice. So if you guys are really into karaoke like we are, this is a cute little place. Actually, it's not really that small. It's actually a pretty big place and it's kind of hidden. It's at the very end of Fremont Street and you have to go up these escalators to get to the top to get into Cat's Meow. The only thing I would say is that they don't really have a whole lot of karaoke options or like a whole lot of song options for you, but it's still really fun and I really would suggest going there if you enjoy stuff like that. The atmosphere is really awesome. They have it well decorated. It even has a bathroom that it's this litter box. Like that is so cute. Even the chairs are decked out. And their drinks are not so bad. They actually have a happy hour between 3 and 6 where you can get buy one, get one half off. And then the stage, the girl that works there actually will get up there and like pretend to play her guitar, or she'll sing with you or perform behind you to make it more entertaining. There's a set of drums up there that if you know how to play, you can go up there and play the drums while people are singing. It's just a really cool little dive bar to hang out at. I would really love to go back because that was so fun. So that completes the end of our stay in Vegas. We walked through the casino one last time. We ended up winning 20 more bucks and I ended up leaving with $40. And so we went back to the hotel and we popped some champagne just to finish it off, and then that was it. And now it's time for us to slow things down and head off to Mammoth. Bye bye. See you next time. Wow, what a ride that was. I came in here because my kids are home and I needed some privacy and I need a pillow. Okay, so let's talk about Mammoth. You guys, it was such a different transition from Vegas to Mammoth. It took me a while. It's like right as I was coming down from Vegas, it was already time to leave. It went by faster than a blink of an eye. But it was so serene and beautiful and a moment that I wish it could have lasted longer. It was so majestic. I think that's the word I could actually use in this moment because it was just so beautiful. And I'm typically not a naturistic girl, but that moment was pretty awesome. I will say that the ride there from Vegas to Mammoth, I will never do that again because not only was it over 5.5 hour drive, but it has so many winding roads going through the mountain. I was getting car sick and frustrated and irritated because it just was uncomfortable in a little tiny Sentra. But nonetheless, we made it. And once we got there, it was like all of that was forgiven and we just enjoyed ourselves. So there's not a whole lot to talk about with Mammoth because it's really all about the scenery. It's all about the fishing. And that's pretty much it. It's just a beautiful area. So we stayed in this little condo and it was just a cute little place. So let's go ahead and walk through it.
You and me go together like 1, 2, 3, here forever. You and me stay together like pen to paper. We're forever. I could live a life full of wonder without you.
I have all these things that I want to say, but I don't know which one to say first. Anyway, let's just go ahead and go with the brewery. We went to the brewery and we got to taste test, well, my husband, he got to taste test the flight of beer. If you guys watched my Yosemite video, it's kind of like that. And of course, my husband always makes me try his beers, even though I don't like beer very much. I like very light, crisp beers, but like dark ales and like those really dark looking ones, I can't do those, but he makes me try them anyway, and I always do. So please excuse my facial expressions when I'm trying these beers. I was just trying to be a good sport, but it was really hard to get through. Tasty.
Memorial Day weekend. It probably started today with the seasonal beers.
How dark this beer is.
I think that's the border.
Oh, it smells like root beer. It's root beer. That's root beer. This is definitely not root beer. It tastes like chocolate though, kind of. Well, okay, what's this one? Oh. So I think you were supposed to like that like this way, but it's okay.
You are.
Because he had me try different ones. That one was horrible. That one tasted like pine trees. This one's gonna taste bad too. This is the same shit, dude.
No, it isn't. It's over here.
That is so strong. This one actually smells okay. That one was actually okay. That was alright. Yeah. Very light. That one's okay too. That has like a pear taste to it. Kind of fruity. Look at the face.
No face. That was good.
Yeah.
Salute, Shelly.
Some of the times we stayed over,
Just across the street. Just all in the bushes. I don't think they watch that glass now. It's getting lighter and lighter, Shelly. Salute.
This one's your favorite?
I would say these two. Yeah.
Those two?
Yeah.
The one thing that I had to get used to was the difference in the weather. When we left Havasu, it was up to 107 degrees. It could have even been hotter than that. But it was like 107 degrees in Havasu. And then we go to Vegas and it drops anywhere between 97 and 102 degrees. And Fremont Street is covered mostly, but you're not getting like direct sunlight, even though it's pretty warm. And then you go to Mammoth and it's anywhere between 45 and 67 degrees. So it's a major drop. So the very first time we went out fishing, it was like so windy and so cold. We didn't even really stop to fish a whole lot. We did stop at this one place, but we only stayed there for maybe 30 minutes and then we left. And that was it. That's when we went to the brewery. So I didn't get any footage the very first time that we went fishing. But the second time we went, we actually did sit in the same spot that we got to see the first time. And that day was also pretty windy and cold and it was rainy as well. But it was still like a really cool experience. And so I just kind of bit through it and tried not to think about how cold it was. And you could see the clouds just roll in. It was so weird. Like I've never seen that before. It's crystal clear. Like the mountains are just clear and the sky is blue and you know, the sun is peeking out and then all of a sudden it like these dark clouds just come rolling in so fast and it comes in and comes in and then it takes over the entire freaking lake. And then you can't see anything and then it starts to rain and then 2 seconds later it starts dissipating and the clouds just disappear and then the sun comes back out for like a few minutes. It was just crazy. The weather did not know what to do with itself. So that was really fun to see. I wish I would have gotten better footage of that, but I was just so in awe and taken back in all of the beauty of being there that I just wasn't really focusing too much on footage. We did catch a couple of fish. The first day we caught 2 fish and then the people that were next to us, the little girl, she actually caught 2 fish and they gave it to us because they like catch and put it back. But they were like, if you're going to take your fish home, do you want to keep these 2? And so we're like, yeah, we'll take your fish. And so we ended up coming home with 4 pieces of fish. So each one of us got to eat one. And my husband bought a brand new rod while he was up there because, like I said, we weren't planning on going to Mammoth. And so when we got there, we had no fishing anything. He got to catch a fish the very first moment that he gets there and he catches the biggest fish. It was just like, wow. It was such a moment. But anyway, I feel like I've been talking your guys' ear off. I feel like I've done enough. So I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed being out. I don't know if I'll ever do a 10-day vacation ever again, but it was definitely a memory that I will never forget. And I'm so glad I went with the people that I went with because they just made it so much more fun and enjoyable. And Crystal and Ramon, I love you guys. All the people on YouTube who are watching this video, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Could we go back to the beginning where everything went our way? I don't want to stay forever, but I just want a chance to remember you and me just for a moment here. Take